All right. Hi there, Astrid. Thanks for being here today. Now that you are here in the class, I'm going to start today's class. All right. We need to continue working with embedded questions. Actually, we only worked on the introduction, right? So we are going to cover the lesson today. And also, we're going to start perhaps the last one that is going to be, if I'm not wrong, indefinite pronouns. And with that, we are going to be done, all right, with the course. And again, Friday is going to be for last reviewing, for last reinforcements, and that's going to be it for this course. Remember that you have until Friday to finish the assignments, and tomorrow, if you want, you can take the final exam, right? It's going to be there tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday morning. All right, so with that in mind, please, we are going to do the following, that is working with this lesson. So we know embedded questions, but how can you explain this with your own words, Astrid? This is what we did at the end of the previous class, and we were practicing a little bit about it. So what do you remember about that introduction, Astrid?
Good afternoon, teacher. Embedded questions. For example, when you want to know more about something, and you try to you try to maybe, or you do more questions about an item. Or
All right, good. And how do you form? Thank you, Astrid. But let's be more specific in how do you form embedded questions? You need two things, right? What are the two things that you need to form one embedded question?
For example, when I try, or I could use uh, where, what, who, that, and which. That.
Good. Yes, and that's one question, right? Imagine the question is, where is the bathroom, right? That's the one question. So how do you form an embedded question with that one question? What do you need? Do you need another question? Do you need a statement? And what do you do with those two elements? Actually, how can you explain the process that we follow?
And the process to form a question, or
Exactly, to form an embedded question, right? Because where is the bathroom is one question, but it's not an embedded question. What do you need to make where is the bathroom an embedded question? What else do you need? Because again, that's only a normal question. Where is the bathroom? So how do you form an embedded one?
maybe other, if I wanted to know, for example, how to write at bathroom, I could say, could you tell me how I can write at the bathroom?
Good. And even you can keep the same question, right? And how do you keep the same question? Where is the bathroom? How can you keep the same question inside your other question? Because if you analyze now, you have two questions. Could you tell me one question? Where is the bathroom? Another question. But what happens when you mix the two questions, Astrid? And again, if you analyze, then embedded question is one question inside another question, or one question inside a sentence, okay, or a statement. But one more time, then, if you want to keep where is the bathroom, Astrid, what do you need to change? Only change one thing to make it part of an embedded question.
Could you tell me where the bathroom is?
Yes, correct. Exactly, right. And of course, you can ask it differently, but that's it, Astrid. Thank you very much. You can ask that in different ways. right? But it's going to be a little bit weird to say how to arrive to the bathroom, right? Directly where the bathroom is. But you can get, could you tell me how I could arrive to or at or in, right? But that's going to be a different question because the question is going to be, how could I? But I changed that to how I could, because we know that for embedded questions, we follow the sentence order. Okay, but that's good. You have it, and that was great, Astrid. That's the change that we need to make. And also, we need to understand that one embedded question is one question inside another question or one question inside a statement. As you see here in the definition, and this is going to be for you, please, Evelyn. Let's read the definition.
Good afternoon. Sometimes we want to use a question as a part of another question or a statement. This is called an embedded question.
Okay, thank you, Evelyn. So that's an embedded question, right? One more time. One question that is part or that is inside another question or inside a statement. Because again, if you analyze when you say, could you tell me, one question, where the bathroom is, second question, and question mark, right? So again, it's one question that is not by itself, all right? It's accompanied by something else, and it can be one more time, a question or a statement. This is the first usage, and this is what we were doing on Friday, right? We were practicing this. So please, Astrid, let's read usage number 1.
Usage 1. We can use embedded questions as part of other questions. And this is sometimes called an indirect question and is often used to be polite. Normal question, where is the station? Indirect question, and that includes an embedded question. Could you tell me where the station is?
Great, thank you very much. All right, so good. And again, you're going to see that it's hard to get used to that. That's going to be one of the most common mistakes that perhaps you're going to have. Even if you know the rule, believe me that you're going to have mistakes, all right? Because this takes some time because we are used to the exchange, we're used to the inversion, all right? But as soon as you practice, all right, try to practice very often using the embedded questions and it's going to be more natural, all right? But again, it's not like bad if you make mistakes because it's very common, all right? So could you tell me where the station is, right? The verb after the subject. Okay, so this is called an indirect question. So one more time, I'm going to give you one question and you're going to give me the embedded question. And you can use this structure, okay? Later on, we're going to learn more first questions, but first you can use that one if you want. So this is for you, Evelyn. Evelyn, if I say this, the question is, what is her name? What is her name? How do you change that to an embedded question,
Evelyn? Could you tell me what her name is?
Okay, good. One more time, please. The last part, it was not clear. Only one more time, please.
Could you tell me what her name is?
Correct. Very good. Thank you, Evelyn. That's correct. Could you tell me what her name is, right? Because her name, subject, is the verb, right? Always you like discard the inversion and you make it in statement order one more time. Good. Now only with the verb to be, okay? Later on, we're going to see rules for other verbs. Perhaps you already covered that on Pearson if you're working on Pearson Girls, or perhaps you also know that, but if not, you're going to learn that. Okay, so this question is for you, Astrid, and very similar is going to be, okay, yes, it's going to be this one, okay? Again, very similar. What is the party's location? where is the party's location? So how do you change that to an embedded question, Astrid?
Could you tell me where the Paris station is?
Good, but instead of station, it's going to be location, right? Location. Party's
Location.
station. Good, perfect. Thank you very much, Astrid. Correct, right? Could you tell me where the party's location, right, is? Good. Great. So again, that's usage number one. Very easy, right? If you want to be polite, you don't say, "Hi, where's the station?" Right? You say, "Hi, could you please tell me where the station is?" Right? I don't know. I'm not from here. I'm not from around, so I don't know where it is. Right? So you use embedded questions. Usage number two. This is similar. You're only going to see one change, and you're going to see what's different to the previous one. All right, this is for you, please, Evelyn. Usage two.
An example, teacher?
No, let's read, please, Evelyn.
Okay, sorry. We can also use embedded questions as a part of statements. The embedded question is a noun clause and can be used in a similar way to a noun. Normal question, where does she work? Embedded question in a statement, I don't know where she works. Here, where she works is the object.
Great. Thank you, Evelyn. So my question, this is for you both, for Astrid and Evelyn, okay? For you two girls. What is the difference between this? Could you tell me where the station is? And this. I don't know where I don't know where she works. Okay, so what is the big difference that you notice? Okay, there are actually two differences, but one can be very important. What do you say? What differences do you see, girls? Okay, one more time, we have this one, usage one. Could you tell me where the station is? Okay, pay attention to every detail. And the second one, sorry, I don't know where she works. And also pay attention to all the details. So let's see, all right, one by one. So in your case, Astrid, what differences do you see between these two ideas?
The differences, teacher?
Yes, the differences that you can spot, that you can identify between, one more time. Could you tell me where the station is? And I don't know where she works.
Maybe the first usage one, the sentence starts with interrogative question, and then the question is like affirmative sentence. And now in the usage two, all the sentences in affirmative sentence.
Okay, good. Yes, actually, that's the most important element. And what is the consequence also for you, Astrid? If this is a question, could you tell me? And if this is a statement, right? You can call it a statement. I don't know, right? What is the second consequence of that, Astrid, in terms of writing? What happens with this one? Could you tell me where the station is? And what happens with this one in terms of the writing? If the first one is a question and the second one is a statement.
What is the consequence?
And the consequence is at the end of the ideas.
Maybe if I I want a help. For example, I am speaking with someone and I am trying maybe to know more about or I am receiving information and I would like to know more about that place and I am trying to ask indirect full I don't the information I am trying to receive the information or to know.
Yes, it's good. The logic that you're following is correct, right? And actually, you can use both cases in the same situation, right? You can use the sentence and you can use the question. And good. The last one, again, just to close that one, just one short. What happens with the punctuation, Astrid? What happens with punctuation in number 1 and in number 2?
About the punctuation.
Are they finishing with the same punctuation mark or they have different punctuation marks? What do you say?
I think that the first usage one finishes in an interrogative sign.
Okay, question mark, in the question mark,
and question
correct?
Mark.
Good, and this one over here in period, right? And even though this is a question, right? But even though this is a question, you need to change the question mark to period, because if not, it's going to be incorrect, right? Why? Because you're starting with a statement. I just that one, Astrid. Thank you very much. Good. All right, great. So if you get that idea, you both girls, Astrid and Evelyn, that's perfect. All right, if you have questions, you're going to let me know. This is the beginning, but we're going to continue taking a look at some differences. But to do it, please, you're going to do something special now, Astrid and Evelyn. And again, this should be done in 5 minutes, more or less, or 6 at most. And we're going to work as always in our file. And it's going to be very important, okay? But again, you need to pay attention for what you have to do, okay? You're not going to write embedded questions, okay? You are not going to write embedded questions. Only normal questions, okay? Not embedded questions. Don't write embedded questions yet. You're going to do it step by step to see the changes, all right? So what you have to do, please, Astrid and Evelyn, you have to write questions, all right? One yes, no question and one interrogative or WH question for the following tenses. Okay, so this is yes, no question. All right, I'm going to put it in this list for you. Okay, and this is going to be WH or interrogative question. Sorry. All right, so you're going to write, for example, the first tense is going to be the simple present tense with be. All right, so you're going to write a yes, no question and a WH question for the simple present tense with be. You're going to do the same, but with other verbs. All right, the same over here. And you're going to continue. The next part, again, the next part is going to be the simple past tense with be. All right. Then almost the same. Actually, let me copy this one this time. All right, it's going to be just a couple more, don't worry. Then here is with other verbs. And here again with other verbs. And finally, only one more. The last one is going to be, again, a yes, no question, but it's going to be the simple future. Okay, and it can be with be or with any verb that you want. Okay, simple future tense. Okay, see what you remember, please. I'm not going to tell you what you need to write exactly. All right, I'm not going to tell you about the auxiliaries. You have to remember those rules, please. Any questions that you're going to have this time is going to be after this task. All right, after you finish this task, I'm going to, well, you're going to ask me actually the questions that you get. All right, so let's write everything, please, Astrid. This is what you have to write. So you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we have 10 questions in total. Let's do it, please. All right, let's write all those questions. They have to be different questions. And later on, we're going to do something, okay? But again, normal questions. Don't write embedded questions. Only normal questions, okay? I can give you one example. What is a normal question? What is your name? Okay, that's a normal question. Or what do you do? All right, let's do it, please. To have this, we're going to have 5 to 6 minutes because again, these tenses are simple and we should know them very well. The link is in the chat, just again, one more time. And that's it. Let's do it, please, girls. 6 minutes and we check these questions. All right, and there you go. Okay, so it's the 6 minutes. Now we can take a look at what you got and we continue working. Again, let's remember that we had to write yes, no questions and WH questions for the simple present tense with be, for the simple present tense with other verbs, for the simple past tense with be, for the simple past tense with other verbs, and for the simple future. All right. Perhaps you're still writing some ideas, but as I check what you did, we are going to finish those. All right. So I'm going to start with you, please, Astrid. Let's read everything that you got, and we're going to finish what's missing together.
Okay. Where are you from? Where are you from? Okay. Is she married? Were you happy? And what did you study? And did she travel yesterday?
Thank you very much, Astrid. So let's check what we got. Okay. So we have one with the verb to be in simple present. You have number one, right? Where are you from? And is she married? Great, right? Very good. The two first questions. Then you need in past, right? First, you need to. Where were you happy? Good. That's a yes/no question. And what was she? All right. Is that the end of the question number four, Astrid?
Number 4, teacher, is I was I was doing that question, but I
It's a
didn't
little
have an idea.
good. Yes, it's a little bit tricky, right? Because you don't have to use ing, right? That's going to be past continuous. So good. You're careful with that one. That's very good. One suggestion. Okay, let me help you with that one. You can ask something like, "Where were you?" Okay, where were you? Right? Hey, I was looking for you yesterday. Where were you? Right? And that's going to be past with the verb to be and only in the simple tense. All right, write that idea, please. How do you write that question, Astrid, in number four?
Which were you with?
But
Who?
okay, good. Who were
Who
you
were
with?
you with?
Okay. Let's write that one, please. All right, there is going to be a little detail, but like that, I think it's good now. Okay, good. Now, that's with the verb to be. Now with the, well, simple past, right? What did you study and did she travel yesterday? Very good. So if I'm not wrong, we are just missing the future tense. What future tense question comes to your mind, Astrid? Let's start with the yes/no question could be in the simple future.
Are you going to study here?
Okay, that's good. But actually, that's also a kind of, it's a future tense, but the simple future is going to be the future with will. Okay, so only change your are you going to change it to will. So how would it be?
Will you study here?
Very good. That's one. And one more, please, a WH question.
Um, um, where will you live?
Good. That's also correct. Great. So let's write that one, Astrid. I think it's good. And then I'm going to go back to you to check those examples. And then we're going to write two more with me. Okay. Different ones that I didn't tell you. All right. Great. Thank you, Astrid. Now let's do the same with you, please, Evelyn. Let's read your examples, please.
Is he your cousin? Where are you from? Do you study English? Where do they work? Were they at the party? Where will day last week? Did you dance with him? Where did you dance with him yesterday? Where the where
Good. The last one, please, one more time, Evelyn. I couldn't hear. I don't know if it was my internet connection or yours. Only the last two, please. Number 20 and number 21, one more time, please, Evelyn.
okay. Where she study? Where will she study?
Great, perfect. Thank you, Evelyn. Good. I think it's great. Okay, I have no observations. I think those are great examples and very good. I'm just going to change something. All right. And again, it's because of the exercise we're going to do, because it's correct. All right. But I'm changing this just because, again, of the practice. Instead of they here, I'm going to change to she. All right. And again, it's only because of the practice we are going to do to identify some important changes. All right. Now, let's do something with you, Evelyn, and I'm going to do the same with you, Astrid. So in the meantime, as I'm working with Evelyn, you can think of this. We are now going to write with me 2 questions with the present perfect. Okay, with the present perfect. So what are 2 possible questions that you can write with the present perfect, Evelyn? What do you say? You can tell me first the speaking, and then you're going to write those 2 examples. 1 yes/no question and 1 WH question. What do you say? What comes to your mind, Evelyn?
Have you done homework?
All right. Yes. Have you done? It can be the homework or your homework, right? Or simply in general, right? The homework. Okay. Or have you done some homework? Can be also valid. Good. Good. That's one. It's correct. One more, please. This time a WH question, please.
Have you ever danced reggaeton?
Okay. The question is good. It's correct. But remember, now it has to be a WH. You need an information question with what, where, etc.
Okay. Where have you bought your clothes?
Correct. Very good. That's a great question. Where have you bought your clothes? Great. So that's correct, Evelyn. So the only thing you're going to do now, write those 2 questions, please. Okay, they're going to be number 22 and number 23. Okay, that's the only thing, Evelyn. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And let's do the same with you, please, Astrid. Also, first in speaking, tell me 2 questions with the present perfect. Okay, 1 yes/no question and 1 WH question. What comes to your mind, Astrid?
Who has done that work?
Okay, all right.
Has she arrived early?
Okay, good, good. Who has done that work? Who has done that? And has she arrived early? Good. Those are correct answers. So again, perfect. Let's try those, please. They are going to be number 9 and number 10. All right. So with that, we are going to have everything complete, I think. All right. I think that we have everything complete in that way. Yes, something that I'm noticing here, actually, this is yours, right, Astrid? We are also missing questions with the simple present tense, if I'm not wrong. Yes, so we are also going to add that, please, Evelyn, because, sorry, Astrid, because in total we need 12 questions. Okay, what comes to your mind, Astrid, for simple present tense with other verbs, not the verb to be?
Without a verb, teacher, no? Speaking.
Correct. Exactly. You don't have to use the verb to be in the simple present. What do you say? What WH question can you give me, and what yes no question can you give me?
Listen. Okay. Where does she work? And the other does it rain frequently here?
Good. One more time, please. The last one. I couldn't hear very well the subject and the verb.
Does it rain frequently?
Okay, good. And also, if you have here, it's correct. Good. Does it rain frequently or often? Right. Good. That's good, Astrid. So let's also write that, please. One more in the present perfect, right? I mean, you told me, but you need to write one more in the present perfect with yes no question, and then the two questions in the simple present. Okay, you need a total of 12 sentences then, Astrid. And I think we are also good with you. Sorry, Evelyn. We should have those ones. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Yes. So there you go. So if you have those 12 sentences, then we are going to do this step by step. I know that you know how to do this, but we are going to be sure that you know all the rules. So if there is a question word, keep it. So if I ask you this, Evelyn, what is a question word? What do you say? What example can you give me of a question word?
Question word.
Yes, in one question, we can have a question word, or sometimes we don't have a question word.
I don't know, teacher.
I'm going to help you with this one. What is the difference between a yes-no question and an information question?
For the words, what, where, who?
Correct, exactly. Those are question words. Okay, very good. So if there is a question word, we keep it, right? So if we see that we have a question word, we don't have to change that question word, right? That's a step number one. So that's easy. Let's continue. We're going to continue, Evelyn. Thank you. In rule number 2, there is no question word, use if or whether, right? So if you analyze, it means if you have yes, no questions, you have to use if or whether. All right, please remember that. We are seeing the steps one by one. Later on, you are going to follow all these steps and you're going to work on all the changes. And first, you're going to do one with me or two with me, okay, like this speaking, and then you're going to, well, do it by yourself. Number 3, we use normal sentence grammar. Okay, so we don't need do, does, or did. Okay, remember that, please. Normal sentence grammar, we don't need do, does, and did. We use normal sentence word order. It means subject, verb, it can be auxiliary, okay? It can be subject, auxiliary, sometimes, verb, and not the opposite, right? And then we use a full stop or we use a period and not a question mark at the end of the sentence if it's a part of a statement. Okay, and those are the 5 steps. If you have questions about the steps, you're going to let me know. So one more time, If you have a question word, what, where, when, keep the word, okay? Don't change the word, don't move the word. If you don't have a question word, if you don't have what, where, if you have a yes, no question, use if or whether. You use normal sentence grammar, don't use auxiliaries in affirmative statements, for example, if you don't have to. Normal sentence word order, it means subject, verb, complement, or subject auxiliary. In negative could be verb, complement, and use a period and not a question mark if the end of the sentence is part of a statement, right? And not a question. That's what we saw at the beginning, right? Now, to do this, please, Evelyn and Astrid, you are first going to use these elements over here. All right. As we have 12, if I'm not wrong, we have 12. We're going to use 6 from here. Okay. You can use I wonder. You can use they don't know or I don't know, right? You can change the subject if you want, no problem. I wonder, I don't know, I don't remember, right? I don't remember. I'm not sure. Let's find out. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more. Thinking about, hey, this is better. I've forgotten or I forgot. All right, so this is what you have to use, Evelyn and Astrid. Wonder, know, remember, not sure, to find out, and to forget. In the first part of your embedded questions. Now, I'm going to leave that here, but I'm going to check, for example, one of your examples to see how you follow the logic. So, if the question is, I'm going to start with you, actually here, Evelyn. Evelyn, in this question, where does she work? Okay, where does she work? So, how do you change where does she work to an embedded question, Evelyn, using one of these introductory statements? What do you say, Evelyn? Where does she work?
I don't know where does she work.
All right, it's 75% correct. Okay, 75% correct. What do you think could be the mistake there, Evelyn? Remember, I'm to show you something that can help. Remember, we use normal sentence grammar. We don't use, if we don't need, do, does, or did. Okay, imagine that it's not a question, Evelyn. Imagine that it's a sentence. All right, imagine that it's a sentence. So actually, let's do something. Sorry. How do you change where does she work to an affirmative statement, Evelyn?
In affirmative tense,
Exactly.
she works.
Very good. Exactly. That's the same logic you have to follow. So how would it be? One more time. Where does she work? How do you change that to an embedded question?
Mm-hmm.
You have to do exactly the same as you did to change to the affirmative statement. Exactly the same.
I don't know, teacher.
It's okay. Do what you did. Tell me your previous answer, Evelyn. How do you say where does she work in embedded question? You can give me your first answer.
The answer, she works
But no, the answer, how do you change that? You told me, right? You told me, what is the embedded question of where does she work? You already answered that one, right? And you have to use this. You said, I don't know, right? Using that one, Evelyn. How do you use I don't know plus where does she work?
I don't know where she works.
Yeah, correctly. Exactly. That is correct. Remember, if you say what you said at the beginning, Evelyn, was I don't know where does, right, or she does work, or where does she work, right? But you don't have to use does. Okay, why? Because you don't use the auxiliary in affirmative sentences or statements with the simple present tense, right? You say she looks, she sees, she works, she likes, she studies, she, anything with the third person, right? So if you have the auxiliary does, don't use does. You only use the main verb, work, plus the rule for the third person, right? I don't know where she works. Okay, that's for you. Thank you, Evelyn. Now I'm going to do the same, only one with you in your case, Astrid, and then you're going to change the rest of them. In your case, Astrid, we're going to use send your statements, or no, your statement. It's your question. What did you study? Okay, so Astrid, let's try to use this one. Actually, let's find out. So how do you use let's find out plus your question? What did you study, Astrid? What do you say?
Let's find out what you studied.
Good. Let's repeat the verb one more time, please. I want to hear something.
Let's find out what you studied.
Correct. Exactly. Great. Thank you, Astrid. That's correct. Let's find out what you studied, right? Remember, you don't pretend that you are working with statements and not questions, right? So you're not going to say where or what did you study, right? That's incorrect. It's a question, but when it's a question inside a statement or inside a question, don't use question logic, right? You use a statement logic, a statement grammar, a statement order, right? So good. What plus subject, you, verb, studied, right? Where plus subject, she plus verb, works, and so on and so forth. All right. So imagine again that you are writing a statement, all right, a sentence and not a question. Okay, just that one. So please, let's do that. And this is what you're going to do, and this is how you're going to do it, please, Evelyn and Astrid. Don't delete your examples. Okay, don't delete your examples. I'm going to write the example that you told me. So down below, okay, if you don't want to have a new number, you can press Shift plus Enter, right? You must know that. Okay, Shift plus Enter, and you don't create numeration. You don't create a number. And here, if you want to use, you can use bold. Okay, to use bold, you can press Control B, right? And you can say, let's find out what you studied. Period. Why period? Because it is a statement, it's not a question. And this is your question. Okay, try to do it in this way, please, girls. If you can underline, you mark, you highlight that, and you press Control U, right? Control U. So let's do it in that way, please, Astrid. Okay, all of your questions, but actually only 6 of them. It means 5 more. Astrid. Okay, not all of them, Astrid, only 5 more. All right, to use these elements, well, actually, Astrid left, but it's also for you, Evelyn. In your case, it was this question, right? Control Shift, and then I don't, right? I don't know. And my mistake, double N over there. I don't know where she works, period, right? Because this is a question. Or yes, this is a statement, not a question. Control B, bold, and your question with Control U, underline. All right. So let's do that, please, Evelyn and Astrid. 5 more, not all of your questions, okay? Only 5 more questions, please, Evelyn and Astrid. And don't repeat the same expression. You can use wonder, you can use I don't remember, you can use I'm not sure, you can use she's thinking about, you can use I forgot it. And of course, you can exchange that one. If you didn't use I don't know, you can use. If you didn't use let's find out, you can use it. All right, let's do it, please. For this, it's going to be only 2 minutes because actually it's going to be copy, paste. All right. 2 minutes, please, Evelyn and Astrid. Only 5 of your questions, okay? Don't write new questions. You have to work on your questions, but down below, right? Don't delete your questions. Let's do it, please. 5 embedded questions using these examples. All right, we check in 2 minutes, please, girls. All right, try to use the format that I showed you in those examples. All right, we're going to have 3 minutes, please. I'm seeing that it's kind of short. So 3 minutes, okay? It's already 1 minute, so 2 more minutes and we check. All right, so we are there. It's the 3 minutes Let's take a look. Okay, it was only 5. I wonder, I don't remember, we don't remember, I'm not sure, she's not sure. You can change that, all right? You can play with expressions, but the idea is that you need at least 5 of your statements. All right, so let's see how you're doing. And remember that it's better if it's down below. If not, it's okay. All right, I'm going to start with you, Evelyn. I see that you're following the format and the example. That's great. Let's read your examples, please. And we're going to write the last one with me. Or perhaps the two last.
I don't know where she works. I wonder if they were at the party. Let's find out where they were last week. We didn't remember that you danced with him.
Good, great. So this is something, actually, we're going to change number 18, all right? But I'm going to ask you something first. Here, what punctuation mark do we need here, Emily, at the end?
Sorry, teacher, could you repeat me, please?
Yes, what punctuation mark do you need here at the end of this? I wonder if they were at the party.
If.
Good, but what is the punctuation mark, right? Punctuation mark.
Punctuation mark.
Here, this is a punctuation mark.
Like here?
What do you need? How do you call that? What is that? It's correct, but what's the name?
Subline or?
Tell me, Emily.
Subline or?
No, this is underlined, right? But actually, only the punctuation mark, it's period, right? Punto. That's in English, all right? Punto in a sentence is period.
Period.
All right, so that's the name, okay? That's the name, period. Here, what punctuation mark do you need here? Let's find out where they were last week.
I don't know, teacher.
I'm going to give you options, Evelyn. What do you need? You need period or question mark? Punto o signo de interrogación? What do you need? Period or question mark?
Period.
Period, exactly. Good, okay? Period, like periodo also, right? A period of time, periodo de tiempo, or period. All right, period, good. What about the last one? What do you need in the last one? Good. So one more time, what is the name of that one? Just to remember, how do you call to that punctuation mark? And again, actually, you need to answer if it's a period or a question mark. What is this? A period or a question mark?
Period.
Period. Okay, good, exactly. Okay, so in that way, you are not going to forget. Now, one correction. Here, did you dance with him? It's a yes, no question, right? The rule says this, Evelyn. If there is no question word, use if or whether. Okay, this is for embedded questions. If you use that, that's another structure. Okay, it's going to be correct, but it's another structure.
If.
Okay. If, exactly. I didn't remember if you danced with him. All right, this is only because we're practicing. If you say that, it's correct. Okay, it's correct, but here it's going to be just a little bit different. All right, good. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 2 more. Okay, so we are going to use the following, Evelyn, two more. One of them is going to be with sure. Okay, I think you don't have with sure. Yes. What about number 19? I'm going to help you writing. Okay, what is the embedded question for number 19, Evelyn?
I am not sure where you danced with him yesterday.
Good. So we're going to copy and paste. We're going to change the capital letter, and we are going to eliminate the auxiliary and change that one. What punctuation mark do we need at the end, Evelyn?
Period.
Period, right? Great. There you go. Perfect. One more, okay? The last one. Then we are going to use questions with questions. And the last one is, let's say, one of them, number 13. Where are you from? Okay, so what is the embedded question? And here you're going to use I've forgotten. Okay, I've forgotten. So what is the embedded question here?
I'm forgotten where you are from.
Okay, very good. I've forgotten where you are from. Very good. And what do we need at the end, Evelyn? What's the punctuation mark?
Period.
A period one more time, right? Why? Because this is a statement, right? Sorry, you didn't change this one. Why? Because this is a statement where you are from. There you go. Forgotten is a statement, so period. I don't know, a statement, period. I wonder, it's a statement, period. Let's find out a statement, period. We didn't remember the same, and I'm not sure the same. All right, so I don't know if you have any questions after this part, Evelyn. Let me know, please.
No, teacher, thank you for corrections.
No, thank you very much, Evelyn. Good. And let's do the same, please, with you, Astrid. Let's remember that we need a total of 6. It means 1 that it's done, the one that I gave you, plus 5. Okay, you didn't finish that one, Astrid, but let's read what you got, please.
Oh, teacher, okay. I wonder who you were with. I'm not sure where you will live, and I am thinking about where I will study. And I forget to. And that's
Good.
all, teacher. I didn't do the 2 sentences.
Okay, let's do it together now, please. So you have this one, right? Who you were with. Then you have not sure where you will live. That's over here. So you have that one, you have that one, and then I will study. Where's that one? Over here. But this is a different, no, actually, this is a different question, right? Well, how can you change number 6? Because we have to use these elements, Astrid. You're in number 8, you don't have a WH word question, you have a yes, no question. So how can you do letter C? What do you change here? Okay, I'm going to delete this one so that you use number 8. What do you say? What do you need to put after this when you have a question without a question mark, Astrid?
I am thinking about.
Or you can try, because with that one. Okay, if you will.
Study here.
All right, good. Again, this can be a little bit weird because of the way I'm thinking about. All right, and here they're going to study here, right? So we're going to do the following, please, because this is a preposition, and the preposition is going to ask us for something different. This is the structure, but we're going to use this structure that is correct over here in I've forgotten. Okay, I've forgotten if you will study here. All right, with about, it's better to use gerunds or the WH words, okay? Just in the case I'm thinking about. So let's pick another one. You have that one. One more could be with WH. This one over here, this is very simple. In number one, Astrid, how do you use number one after about?
I am thinking about where you are from.
Okay. There you go, where you are from. And again, what is the punctuation mark that we need at the end of this idea, Astrid?
Period.
A period, right? There you go. Good.
Mm.
One more. Sorry. Sorry. Good. Here, let's use this idea, and it's you have forgotten. I don't remember. You have remember. Let's use remember. What embedded question can you give me with remember, Astrid? And let's use this one, number 10.
I don't remember. She has arrived early.
Okay. If there you go, and I'm going to copy and paste this one, and I'm going to make the inversion. Right? If she has arrived early, and there you go. All right, here they want to change that to simple past. Yes, okay, it's obvious simple past because we don't have context, but for practicing, it's great. And this is the correct order. All right, of course, you can change that to another tense, but it's not the case here. So good, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus this one, 6. All right, now, the next part, please, girls, and with that, we finish today. In the next part, you see that now you have questions. All right, and the questions are, do you know? Could you tell me? Is it possible to know? Would you mind telling me? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. But please, using these 4, okay, you have to use at least once every example. Okay, but finish everything, please. So you have these questions left. Astrid, is she married? Were you happy? What did you study? Did she travel yesterday? Who has done that work? Where does she work? Does it rain frequently? Okay, change all of those down below using the questions, please, Astrid. Okay, I'm going to show the examples once again. And the same with you, please, Evelyn. Okay, all those that don't have the transformation to embedded questions, please do it with these expressions. All right, so to finish that again, let's have 3, I think you have 6. So 3 minutes, top 4 minutes, but please try to finish everything. All right, in those 4 minutes, try to make the effort, sorry, to finish everything in the 4 minutes. Okay, let's do it, please. Again, any questions, let me know.
Teacher, sorry.
Yes.
I didn't hear very well because my connection is weak. And will be three sentences?
No, actually, the rest of your questions, Astrid, you need to transform the rest of your questions to embedded questions, but this time you have to use these introductory questions, right? Do you know where she is from? Could you tell me what she does, etc., etc.?
Okay,
All
teacher,
right.
thank you.
Good. No, you're welcome. Let's do it, please. 4 minutes. All of the questions that are left. It means all of the questions that you didn't change yet. All right, let's do it, please. All right, so it's time. Let's take a look. And with that, actually, we're going to be finishing today's presentation. And I'm going to give the introduction one more time to the last presentation that we are going to then finish on Friday with some reinforcement and reviewing. All right. So again, let's take a look at what you got, and we're going to see how it went. Let's start with you, please, Evelyn. Let's read your new questions with the questions, introductory questions.
Could you tell me if he is your cousin? Do you know if she will study? Do you know where she will study? Would you mind telling me if you have eaten today? Is it possible to know where she has done her homework?
Great, perfect. Thank you very much, Evelyn. Good. I think it's only one missing, right? This one. Do you study English? But you got to do most of them and it's perfect. Usually here you need an object. Okay, here you need an object, and here, sorry, in my good. My keyboard is with a different configuration, but object and object. All right, and again, but here again for practicing is great, but usually you're going to use an object. Okay, we should study what, right? We should study a new career, a major, this subject, that field, the possibilities, right, etc. But good. So if for yes, no questions, and the WH words with the information questions, right? So it's great. I think it's working great, Evelyn. Let's only do this last one, please, together. Number 15. How would it be? Just speaking, Evelyn, and then you write it. Do you study English? How do you change that to an embedded question? Using any of these possibilities, Evelyn.
Do you know? Could you tell me if you study English?
Correct, exactly. In this case, it's weird because the subject is you, right? And it's a direct question, but it's valid here for practicing, and it's great. Could you tell me if you study English? Right? And at the end, what is the question mark? Well, actually, I gave you the answer, but one more time. What is the punctuation mark that you use at the end of these questions, Emily?
Question mark.
Question mark, right? Correct, right? So when you have a statement, you use periods, and when you have a question, you use question marks, right? And that's it. I don't know if you have any questions or doubts about it, Emily. Let me know, please.
No, teacher, it's clear. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Good. It was very well done. Now, let's do the same with you, please, Astrid. Let's read your questions using these introductory questions.
Okay, teacher. Do you know if she is married? Could you tell me if you were happy? Is it possible to know what you studied? Would you mind telling me who has done that work? Do you know if she traveled yesterday? Is it possible to know where she works? Could you tell me if it rained frequently?
Thank you very much, Astrid. Good. And here again, they can suggest to change the present perfect to simple past because we don't have context, right? But it's correct. All right, it's correct. It's just a suggestion that Google is giving you. But again, it's just something that you can take or not into account. But the logic of the embedded questions is great. So again, I don't have observations, Astrid, and I don't know if you have any questions about this topic. Let me know, please.
No, teacher.
All right, thank you very much, Astrid. So to finish today, again, I'm just going to give you an introduction for the last presentation that we are going to have, that is indefinite pronouns. These are the indefinite pronouns. All right, so just as an introduction, actually, I'm going to ask you one question or perhaps two. The first one is for you, Evelyn. Evelyn, for you, what is the difference between these indefinite pronouns? For example, what is the difference between anybody, everybody, nobody, and somebody? And when do you believe that you use those words, Evelyn? What do you say?
When I don't know the subject.
Could be. That's one possibility, correct? But remember that anybody also can be the object. And sometimes it's not that you don't know, but also that you don't want to say, right? But good, when you don't know the subject, or sometimes you don't know the object, because nobody can be the object. Anybody can be the object, right? Or when you don't want to say anything specific about it, yeah, right? You simply say something indefinite. Good. One more question, Evelyn. What do you think is the difference, all right, between anybody and nobody? What is the difference between anybody and nobody? And when do you use anybody and when do you use nobody? Okay? Anything that you know, Evelyn, in general.
Anybody, this word I can use in negative forms.
That's correct. And what about nobody?
Nobody, this word I don't know.
And if I ask you, is the meaning affirmative or negative for nobody?
Negative too.
Negative, correct. Good, thank you, Evelyn. Now I'm going to go with Astrid. Good. This is negative, anybody. This is negative, nobody. This is used in negative statements or ideas, correct? But what about nobody? So the same question for you, Astrid. Adding to what Evelyn said, what is the difference for you, Astrid, between anybody and nobody? When do you use anybody and when do you use nobody, Astrid?
Anybody, for example, will be a person or no, and will be a person into a group, and nobody will be all the group, maybe.
All right, that's one possibility. In a certain way, that's possible, Astrid. But there's one big difference. For example, which one do you use, Astrid, in affirmative sentences, and which one do you use in negative sentences between anybody and nobody?
In negative sentence, I could use nobody.
All right, and do you use anybody in affirmative sentences? What do you say?
No, anybody I use in negative sentence.
Good. But now if I tell you that one of them has to be always in affirmative sentences, which one? Anybody or nobody?
Nobody.
Nobody. The meaning is negative, but it's always in affirmative sentences. All right, good, good. So I'm just going to give you the last challenge to finish today. Thank you very much, Astrid. And it's for both of you, Evelyn and Astrid. How do you say this in English? How do you say no me gusta nadie? Okay, no me gusta nadie. How do you say that in English, Astrid and Evelyn?
I don't like nobody.
Okay, let's listen one by one. Okay, what do you say first? Astrid, tell me you first. What is your answer?
I don't like nobody.
Okay, thank you very much. And what's your answer, Evelyn?
I don't like nobody.
All right, good. So it's close, but actually, grammatically speaking, that's going to be incorrect. All right, why? The two correct options are I don't like anybody. Remember, anybody always in negative sentences. I don't like anybody. And remember, nobody always in affirmative sentences, but the meaning is negative. So if you want to say with nobody, you have to say, I like nobody. Okay, that's correct. If you don't say, I don't like nobody, could be emphasis, could be people sometimes speak like that in songs. You can hear that in songs. You can hear that in informal conversations, all right? But actually, it's not that common. Even in informal conversations, the most common option, Evelyn and Astrid, is always going to be, I don't like anybody. Okay, and grammatically speaking, again, if you're going to take the TOEFL, if you're going to take international test, do not use double negative. I don't, negative, like nobody, negative. Double negative, incorrect. Okay, never do that. So it's going to be, one more time, it's going to be I don't like anybody or I like nobody. And the meaning of both ideas is exactly the same. All right, so with that, we are finishing. Actually left one more time. I hope that she can be back to fill out the survey. But I don't know if you have any questions about this introduction, Evelyn. On Friday, we're going to cover everything. But do you have any questions about that logic with anybody or nobody, or about this introduction, Evelyn? Let me know, please.
No, teacher, it's clear.
Okay, thank you. Great, thank you. And again, remember, this is only an introduction, okay? It means that I'm showing you what you need to understand next class to know when to use any, when to use every, when to use no, and when to use some. Okay, there are some grammatical rules that you need to know to use those words. So to finish now, please, Evelyn, as always, I'm going to send the survey. It's over there. Let's fill it out, please. And that's going to be it for today. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow for our last conversation.
Thank you, teacher. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.